What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna film a video for you guys answering a question that was submitted to me from one of my patrons asking about inbreeding in snakes, or something that we like to call line breeding. Is it bad? Is it good? Does it have a place in the reptile hobby and breeding? Let's talk about it. In reptiles, you'll hear a lot of people talk about line breeding, and that's simply referring to breeding with a specific goal in line, taking the best looking results from the offspring and selectively breeding for those traits in future pairings going down the line, i.e. selectively breeding for a specific look. And what you do in that process is you take your first pair of animals, you produce your offspring, you keep the best looking offspring and raise those up. And you either breed them together or you add some other of the best looking offspring from a clutch and keep a line going, selecting for the best animals. Now, obviously within carpet pythons, a really easy animal to discuss when referring to line breeding are jungle carpets. Why is that? Well, jungle carpets aren't this electric and bright and blinding and clean and beautiful in the wild. These have been selectively bred for the most appealing looks over many generations, and now what you see are pretty regularly very appealing high quality jungles, and that's just selective breeding. That's just taking the nice babies out of the clutch, holding them back and breeding them, whether with your own offspring or other animals down the line. You're essentially selecting for the most aesthetically pleasing traits, creating a visual line. So jungle carpets being very easy to manipulate phenotypically. Carpet pythons in general are very phenotypically plastic, which is why you see them in so many habitats and environments where they're found in Australia and Papua New Guinea, and why they're so variable looking, phenotypically plastic. They can adapt, and in human care we can really select for all of this tipping or clean blacks. You can select for banding or striping, like I have shown many times. So there's a lot of different things that people can do. Another great example would be Nick Mutton's Ivory project. He's worked on that project over about 25 years or so. Started with a really white looking jungle, bred to a nice lighter jungle, kept the lightest looking animals, bred those down the line, kept the nicest, whitest looking animals from that, and you get where I'm going, so on and so forth. So you selectively produce animals, hold the best ones you like for a certain look, hang on to those, and breed them down the line. So jungles are an easy scapegoat to talk about line breeding. So let's look at another example and talk about whether this is good or bad. As I'm sure you know, Papuan carpets are a near and dear love of mine, and they have been overlooked for many years as just simple brown, ugly snakes. But in just 2 generations, you can get some crazy colors, nice striping, and a lot of different looks coming out of these wild-caught even animals. And animals that are very melanistic with just a little bit of color. Selective breeding, you can get some really nice stuff. Now this animal is still going through its on a genetic color change, but because all of that area is really light, all of that is going to get better instead of staying black. It's going to get orange, get brighter, and a lot more color. And I will take this animal and probably one of the males from the clutch and breed them together, hold back the nicest looking animals, and make my 3rd generation of this line that hails from red man and some wild-caught animals. So Papuan carpets are a great example in my world where I've done a little bit of selective breeding, only a few years in, few generations in on this project in particular, and there are no deleterious effects 2 generations in. So when you start having a problem with selective breeding or line breeding is when you start getting symptoms of inbreeding depression, or basically bad outcomes. And some familiar results could be like fertility issues, or the really truncated, shortened body of lavender false water cobras after breeding too many visuals together. Or for Papuan carpets, the granite mutation is recessive, so you have to do some inbreeding in order to get the visual back. And without outcrossing and just continuing to line breed and go for more visuals and the aesthetically pleasing stuff, you start exposing these animals to homozygosity of those bad traits, and you will get things like wobble, regurgitation issues, babies hatching with one eye, all sorts of crazy issues like that. And that's from kind of going too far. And what helps with that is something called outcrossing. And that's where you take unrelated animals, breed them in, and try and reduce the homozygosity in that genome. And what that means is you're essentially reducing the amount of duplicated copies from both parents in the offspring, because as soon as you increase those odds, you're increasing the duplication of bad genes. Make sense? So line breeding is how we get improved looks, how we select for better color, good striping, how we produce recessive mutations, how we tease out new morphs, how the tiger polygenic mutation in coastals was worked on and developed further on down the line. So it is pretty normal. It is healthy to a degree, but we have to be honest with ourselves when we start seeing issues. Is that a one-off? Is that inbreeding depression? And can we replicate those issues? If so, we should probably back off, reduce homozygosity, breed some unrelated animals in, and do what's right by the offspring and try and make them a little bit of a stronger, more robust animal. Another example, like I just mentioned, is the tiger mutation in carpet pythons. It is polymorphic, polygenic, meaning there's a lot of different genes going on to create this look. So that's why when you take a striped tiger animal, breed it to a non-tiger animal, you'll still get some with striping, but nowhere near as much, because only one parent is contributing these striped genetics going on in that scenario. So it can only do so much. But if you're doing a tiger to tiger, you're going to get a pretty nice bell curve as far as the representation. So a lot of good mid-grade representations, a few low-grade, and a few really exceptional animals. And you take those exceptional animals and you line breed them to further striped or tiger animals, and you get better and better stripes with each passing generation. Now this guy right here is an axanthic tiger I produced a few years ago, and he's the product of actually pairing two siblings together. And like I said, within certain limits in a certain number of generations, that's not a problem in reptiles. Australia is an island, and within it, these populations of these snakes are sort of islands themselves. Now there is much more diverse gene flow in the wild, but other examples of that happening with species still existing would be crawl key boas. Their entire island floods part of the year. There's very limited access to food and zero gene flow in between animals on that island and other islands. So they are all 100% related. Now, they've weeded out all the bad genes. They've probably had some inbreeding depression at one point, and then stuff survived and kept going, and they're there and they're healthy and robust. So if you start going several generations into a project and you start getting some animals with shortened bodies, weird issues, things like that, potentially a good sign to introduce some outcrossed, unrelated blood in there to help reduce what might be coming off as some inbreeding depression in that scenario. But again, you have to test breed to confirm. At the end, what we want are healthy animals that look great and will make wonderful pets. So we have to be honest with ourselves at the results we're seeing as breeders. I'm only a couple generations into this project as well, nowhere near the possibility of seeing any issues. And yeah, it's just not really an issue. A lot of circles of animal keeping in the world frown upon it, and that's fine. I get it. It's obviously not okay in people. And mammals definitely show more issues with inbreeding as opposed to reptiles. So reptiles kind of naturally do that. Not very many reptiles have huge like home ranges, and there's a lot of overlap with their offspring after they hatch. So it's going to happen in the natural reptile world, and they're pretty robust and built to withstand some of that inbreeding, especially island and insular species. So just wanted to come on here and talk about it. I know it's kind of a taboo subject. I get it. Sounds kind of gross, inbreeding, breeding your snakes sibling to sibling after they're the product of sibling to sibling, but that is how better improved phenotypes happen. That is how certain morphs are proved out. And what you do after that point is you take those animals and outcross them. So just be honest with the results you're seeing and make a smart decision with the best care for your animal kept in mind. So hopefully this guy will be up for the task for breeding this year, make some more Axanthic tigers with a related individual, and we won't see any issues because, like I said, we're only a couple generations in, and it could take a lot of time before I would ever potentially see any issues. So not really worried about it. It's not really an issue for reptiles, especially snakes. And yeah, there's no need to fight about it online, people. So that's that. I'm gonna get on out of here. Go give my sponsors some love, Reptile Husbandry Designs. If you're looking for any 3D printed perching or anything like that, use code RR10 at checkout to get you a little bit of a discount. And be patient. Chris has a huge backlog of orders going over the holidays right now, so get your order and be patient. He'll get to you, no problem. If you're going to be doing any shipping after the holiday season, because we're pretty much in the closed shipping window here, use my friends over at Reptiles Express. They got you everything you need, from all your shipping supplies to your labels to your kits. Everything you need, one-stop shop. And to save you some money on those FedEx rates, at checkout use code Riley50. Riley50 will get you up to 10 discounted shipping rate labels, so up to 10 customers per, or up to 10 labels per customer, 50% off those FedEx rates. So it'll help you save some money, and they help you save money anyway. The more you spend with them on their labels, the bigger your discount gets anyway. So I'm going to get you on that savings journey. You can take the money you save. You'll join USARC, Florida. They are the only lobbying body of folks working to keep unjust and sneaky reptile legislation off the books, keep us fairly and justifiably represented in the legal system. So they support us. Least we can do is support them. Speaking of support, if you like what we got going on here, can't talk. I do have a Patreon. Patreon members get access to the Discord, first access to animals as they're ready, discounts on merch, all sorts of good stuff like that. And if that sounds like something you want to do, come on, join the Patreon community. It's just Riley Jimison on Patreon. It's a lot of fun. Got some great people there, some creative minds. This video was an idea submitted by one of my patrons, and anytime they have suggestions, I love to help out and demonstrate where I can. So they're wonderful people. I look forward to seeing you there if you'd like to join. And until the next time, take care of yourselves. Hope everyone had wonderful holidays. See you on the next one.